Hey everyone! Welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving deep into the boxing world's hottest topic, Canelo Álvarez's reported new style and the frankly ice-cold reaction from none other than Terence "Bud" Crawford. This isn't just about punches and footwork. It's about mind games, legacy, and what it truly means to be at the pinnacle of the sport. So let's set the stage. Rumors, whispers, and even some training footage are circulating, suggesting that Canelo is undergoing a pretty significant transformation. We're talking about faster footwork, slicker defense, moving away from that more stationary power-punching style we've seen in recent years. It is a buzz that has fight fans and analysts alike, debating whether this is the key to unlocking another level for the undisputed super middleweight king. Is Canelo, at this stage of his legendary career, truly evolving? Is he adapting to stay ahead of the curve, or perhaps preparing for a specific challenge? Many are hailing this as a brilliant strategic move, a sign of a true champion never settling, always striving for improvement. They see it as a response to criticisms, an answer to fighters who might have started to figure out his previous patterns. Imagine a Canelo who's not just a power hitter, but an elusive target, dancing around the ring, making opponents miss while still landing those devastating counters. It's a scary thought for anyone standing across from him, and it definitely adds a fresh layer of intrigue to his upcoming bouts. But then, you have Terence Crawford, the man who just absolutely dismantled Errol Spence Jr., cementing his status as perhaps the best pound-for-pound fighter on the planet. And when he was asked about Canelo's supposed stylistic shift, his reaction was, to put it mildly, dismissive. We're talking a casual shrug, a calm, almost indifferent, too little, too late. Now, that's a statement loaded with meaning. It's not just a throwaway line, it's a declaration. For Crawford, this isn't an evolution from Canelo, it's something else entirely. He views it as desperation. Think about that for a second. The undisputed champion, widely considered one of the all-time greats, making significant changes to his game, and Crawford chalks it up to desperation. What does that tell you about Crawford's mindset? It tells you he sees a different narrative playing out. Maybe he views Canelo's adjustments as a reaction to recent performances where Canelo perhaps didn't look as dominant as he once did. Maybe he believes that true evolution happens continuously, not as a sudden overhaul when the pressure mounts. Crawford's perspective suggests that if Canelo needed to make these changes now, it's because his previous approach wasn't going to cut it against the absolute elite, perhaps against someone like Crawford himself. This isn't just trash talk, it's a psychological chess match playing out in the public eye. Crawford isn't just saying Canelo's changes are ineffective, he's implying they reveal a weakness, a chink in the armor that wasn't apparent before. And when Crawford says, "The king doesn't chase, the king waits and punishes those who do," he's not just talking about Canelo. He's talking about himself. He's painting a picture of his own supreme confidence, his belief that he is the one dictating terms, the one who doesn't need to reinvent his game because his game is already flawless. He's positioning himself as the ultimate predator. The king, in his eyes, is the one who has already reached the summit, who doesn't need to run around trying new tricks. Instead, he observes, he analyzes, and when the moment is right, he strikes with surgical precision. It's a statement of ultimate self-assurance, a belief that any adjustments by potential opponents only make them more predictable, more vulnerable to his own unparalleled skill set. This clash of philosophies is what makes boxing so fascinating. On one hand, you have the idea of continuous improvement, even for the best. On the other, you have the supreme confidence that your current perfected style is enough to overcome any challenge, any adaptation. It's the difference between an ever-evolving martial artist and a perfectly honed weapon. So who's right? Is Canelo truly evolving into a more dangerous, versatile fighter, or is Crawford's assessment accurate, viewing these changes as a sign of vulnerability, a desperate attempt to stay relevant at the very top? The beauty of it all is we won't truly know until they step into the ring, if they ever do. But this verbal sparring, this psychological warfare, adds so much spice to the potential matchup. It builds the narrative, it raises the stakes, and it gets us, the fans, even more excited for what could be an historic showdown. Crawford's words are a clear challenge, a gauntlet thrown down without even naming Canelo directly. It's a message that says, I see you, I know what you're doing, and I'm unimpressed. My throne is secure, and you're merely scrambling. It's a masterclass in psychological warfare, making his potential opponent doubt their own process before a single punch is thrown. And for Canelo, if he hears this, and you know he does, it fuels the fire. It adds another layer to his motivation. Is he just making technical adjustments, or is he also preparing to silence the critics, including a very vocal Terence Crawford? The storyline writes itself. We have the established multi-division king, Canelo, seemingly trying to level up against the undeniable pound-for-pound king, Crawford, who views this as a desperate move by a fighter past his prime. This isn't just about a potential fight. It's about a clash of egos, of boxing philosophies, and of legacies. Both men are at the absolute peak of their powers, or at least they believe they are. Canelo's camp might see his new style as adapting to ensure longevity and continued dominance. Crawford sees it as a confession of prior inadequacy. It's two titans looking at the same situation and interpreting it in completely opposite ways. What do you all think? Is Canelo really evolving, or is Crawford's too little, too late assessment on the money? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. This is the kind of debate that makes boxing the greatest sport in the world. Thanks so much for watching today's video. If you enjoyed this breakdown and want to stay up to date with all the latest in the boxing world, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring the notification bell so you don't miss any of our future content. Your support means the world. We'll catch you in the next one.